interesting topic. This topic that we are talking about today is about saving time and closing more deals with the help of a CRM software. So many people talk about CRMs all the time. They say CRM helped them close major clients. CRM helped them in their sales processes. CRM took the headache out of their sales processes, made them more organized, etc. But there are some of you who don't know what a CRM is. You're probably using spreadsheets to track the users that are coming in, your customers, and you find it really confusing, really technical because there are so many CRM softwares out there. It's easy to get lost in a sea of CRM softwares. I totally get it because I, as a work in a marketplace, and we see a ton of softwares that come in. But if you're that person who's confused about CRMs, who don't know what a CRM is, or are looking for a CRM solution that is fun, simple, easy to use, and has an amazing UI, then stay tuned for this webinar because in today's webinar, we're going to talk about that CRM which you will use on a day-to-day basis, and it will help you simplify your sales process. So stay tuned in this webinar because in this webinar, we're going to make CRM and sales a bit easier for you. That's what I promise. After watching this webinar, CRM and sales are going to get more easy for you. Until then, here's what Val has to say about this particular software.
Today we're making customer relationships easier. What's going on, guys? This is Val from PitchGround. Managing customer relationships is no big deal. You can run it all on paper, use your notebook or sticky notes, or you can go even further and keep it all in a spreadsheet. If you're still living in the previous century and you have just one single customer. Now, if you want to run your sales like a grown-up, you definitely need a CRM. And there's a lot of them on the market, but most of them are so complex that you would need a training course. Not to mention that they have tons of modules and features you'll never use, but you still pay for them. And it's pricey, for the record. You need a tool that you and your team will get familiar with from the get-go. No fluff, no bulky modules and integrations you won't ever use. That's why PitchGround brings you a lifetime deal for SamDock, radically simplified and straightforward CRM. SamDock was designed to help you sell more effectively and have a better time while you're doing it. You don't need hundreds of distracting bells and whistles, dozens of screens and menus, or complicated workflows. That's why the SamDock team left them all out and focused on making sure the features you actually use were as simple and powerful as possible. You keep it all in one place, but still, you keep it simple, nice and clean. Now what you want to do is go to pitchground.com and get yourself a lifetime deal for SamDock. And don't miss the use case video where Mark will show you how to use this awesome business tool.
Yep, that's right. So you are watching this webinar, it's more than enough. You don't need to watch any more use case videos. And during any point of this live event, if you have more questions, feel free to ask in the chat section down below, because we have a dedicated Q&A section in the end where we will answer every single question that you have got. So we have a really special guest with us here today. That is the head of customer success at SamDock. Hi.
Hi,
How are you
guys.
doing?
Hello. I'm fine. Thank you, Mina. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It feels amazing to do this very first event with SamDock. We are excited about this tool. So please tell us about yourself, about SamDock, about what can users expect out of this live event.
Oh, yes, please. So thank you again all for joining as well. We are very, very excited. We are very excited to work with PitchGround to get people onboarded on this software because we really want to make life simpler. I was a salesperson for many years as well. I was working in customer success and I had used so many tools, and my day was sometimes, oh my God, I need something better to use, like something easier, something fun. And that's what we want to try to do. We want to build a software that's really like a daily thing that you want to use, that you are happy in the morning when you start your day and open your CRM and you know everything that's going on, and it makes your sales life easier and also gives you a lot of more deals, a lot of more signups for your products or your services.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in a bit, we are going to explore that. In the meantime, guys, where are you joining in from? Tell us in the chat before we begin this webinar. I see if there are people who are active in the comment section, we have a very special surprise for you in the end. So, as much as possible, ask your questions, interact with us in the chat down below, because we have a special surprise for you in the end. Only for the active people, by the way. If you're just watching it passively, it's all right, but active people get rewarded over here at PitchGround. So, what can users expect out of this live event today?
So what we want to show you is a little bit like how to use the software, of course. So we have this, at the end, we will dive into the software and we will show the use cases and how you can really work with it. But most importantly, we want to show you how you can save time and close more deals with the CRM that's built to help you sell efficiently and effectively, and as effectively as possible, of course. So we have like three main topics that we want to show you, and that has to do with lead management, with the customer management and relationship that you want to build, and also a lot of like qualifying your leads for a better prioritization, so that you're not losing track of any very very high potential customer, but also you don't like lose time with customers that, or potential customers that didn't have the potential after all at the beginning, and you may have know it already, but you didn't focus on that. So that's what we want to show you today, how to do that.
Absolutely. It sounds a bit complicated, but you're here to make it easy for you guys. And
Exactly.
I believe you can just share your screen right now and get started, because we've
Yes.
spoken enough. So I can see people that are joining, and the screen sharing button is right beside the video button. You can see it. And we have people joining in from various places. Sharneen, awesome. I see you. You've joined our other webinar as well. Super happy. You're super active. Uh, and Yep, we have Chaitanya joining in as well here. Chaitanya is again super active. We have a question coming in that we want to take this up before we begin. Which leading tool does SamDock want to be? That's a question. Do you want to answer?
Yes, please. I would love to. So actually, we if this question is regarding the tools that are already existing on the market, it's very important for us to say that we really try to rethink things. So we really try to make a new product, a new CRM, because there are millions, like, or not millions, but thousands of CRM out there on the market, and I have worked with a lot of them as well. So we really want to be the CRM for small businesses that is the easiest to use, and that like rethinks things so that they are maybe different than others done it before, but that you can work better with in the future, in the long term.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question, Unes, and thank you for joining this webinar as well. And over to you. You can just
Thank you very much. Thank you, Minang. So yeah, welcome again to this webinar. In my opinion, like, we want to show you how efficient sales not only can be fun, but should be fun as well. Especially because small businesses like really depend on their sales, and so we want to tell you how you can save time and close even more deals, as I said before. So we have three main topics, and that's like how to properly structure your sales and customer management in the software, and how to build like a streamlined process where you can work on a daily basis. Then also how to qualify your leads and your potential customers for a better prioritization. And then at last, also how to build easy to understand sales pipelines, because we think that pipelines is really the one thing that will help you get your leads through your whole process, so that they can sign up very easy and fast. So let's dive in. Small facts about SamDock itself. So we are a startup based in Munich, Germany. That's where I am headed as well. We have right now more than 2,000 companies signed up already, and we gain a lot of feedback. We are always developing more and more, always rethinking things also that we have done in the past, but also what we want to do in the future. And that's why we want to build the simplest CRM for small businesses and small teams or freelancers. So really like everybody up to a size of 50 people that work with this CRM. It could be really a freelancer or a team of 3 to 5 people, whoever, like small teams that will collaborate here. So we have three main main focus points where SamDock wants to help you. And that is, the first thing is manage all your contacts, leads, and customers properly in one central place. So we learn a lot that many small businesses work with so many tools. Like they have their contacts all in Outlook, then they have the leads in some list and spreadsheets, as Minang said at the beginning. Then we have like documents of the customers on the laptop or in Google Drive or whatever. And we now want to have this one central place where you have really all the details that you need together. The second thing is that we want to help you qualify and manage all your incoming requests, leads, and deals. Deals is another word for opportunities. So whoever may have worked with Salesforce, for example, they are working with the technology, terminology of opportunities. And we settle down with leads and deals, and I will explain you later what that means. But all in all, it means that like you can really, all the potential customers are there to qualify and to manage in that tool. And the third thing is, which is like a very nice add-on as well, as to organize your meetings, your tasks, the follow-ups with your team. We will learn why this is so important, because in the customer management, follow-ups is very important also for sales, and we will show you how to do that here. So we have a few facts that make the difference. We found out, like we research a lot on that topics, especially B2B lead generation. So we have the first fact that is like more than 70% of small sales teams still work with paper, pen, Outlook, and Excel. And funny thing is, many of them are already using a CRM, but still salespeople, they don't like to use the software, or maybe they have issues with that, or it's like not very fitting for their needs, and so they are still working with Excel next to their CRM, which is what I did as well many years. So that's where SamDock also wants to help. The second fact is that 80% of all B2B deals need 5 follow-ups on average to close the deal. So we have a lead that's coming in, and we really need to be patient. We have 5 follow-ups that we need to do so that this customer become a customer. And that's where we really need to be structured. We really need to have all the information that we need at one place. And we really need to know at all time what happened in the past and what does this customer want in the future. The third fact is that 70% of potential customers are not in closing mood at the first touch point. So many salespeople try to sell a lot, which I get, of course. But maybe you have also read about it, and sales is more about like getting this customer excited about your products, about your services. And so SamDock also wants to help you to really see when is the correct point, when is the timing, the perfect timing to communicate this closing mood with the customer, and not at the beginning. And the fourth and last fact that we have brought here is that if you have a new inbound lead, and if you contact them within 60 minutes, within the first 60 minutes, they will convert with a 9 times higher probability. Sorry for the spelling mistake here. If you have inbound leads, then you really need to focus on getting them fast and like contacting them fast for the first time. Then we have a few challenges without lead management that we hear a lot about. Like it's the missing details, as I explained earlier. You have like many softwares where you collect all these details, and then it's hard for you to find them, to see did I write it down in my notebook? Do I have that in one email in Outlook or whatever? Then we have also an unstructured lead qualification, which leads to not knowing which customer has the highest, or which potential customer has the highest potential and not. So which one you want to focus on. Then we have new leads that are being touched too late. So as I explained earlier, you have seen during the first 60 minutes, the potential is a lot higher that this customer converts. So there are too many leads lying there, and lead aging is a big issue that I want to concern later on as well. Then we have a harder lead conversion, as all the previous things make obvious. We have the problem that people are not prioritizing the leads, which also again leads to being contacted too late or not at all, or even spending so much time on leads that never convert into a deal. And yeah, of course, lead duplicates. That is like if you have many softwares that you're using, then you have this lead there and there and there, and you're losing track. So how should now a structured lead management look like? First thing to do is you want to generate leads. So we are a big fan of inbound leads, which is of course like something that you have to dive into. You have to do marketing, you have to know what you're doing there. There are a lot of small businesses that they are doing outbound sales, and this is also possible with that. But we try to dive more into generating leads with campaigns, with events like webinars, as we're doing here, with the website network, etc., networking as well. Then after we generated a lead, and this could also be an outbound lead, of course, then we want to qualify that. So this lead, we don't know anything about them yet. We don't know what they need, when they need. So we want to find out a few more things. We want to know if this is the relevant target audience that we want to target as well. Is this the relevant contact person, or who is the relevant contact person? We want to make the requirements clear. So what does this customer really need? And can we provide that? Can we provide that product or that service? Then also we want to know if the budget is available, because if we have a lead and like they don't have a budget to pay us, we don't really need to spend our time with that anymore. So we really need to find that out in the beginning, or try to find it out really soon. And also a clear timeline. So if you have a lead that, like, for example, wants a solution next year, then we know that right now we don't need to spend our time on that. We can wait until next year. We can set us up and follow up so that this lead, of course, never gets lost, but that we can focus on those deals that are important now and that want a solution as fast as possible. Then we have, like, after we have prioritized and qualified the lead, we can then go into our deal process. So we can convince the customer, we can get them excited, we can pass this deal through our sales stages, so that we really know which customer is at which stage, what is to do there, and then at the end we can of course send the offer, which then leads hopefully to close the deal, which is our main goal, of course. And there are also some negotiations, some discussions, and to align, of course, on the next steps, because that is also where the relationship starts then. So this is lead management, this is sales, and then afterwards we have customer success, which is my job as well at SamDock, and you have a process for after sales as well. So that starts then. Yeah, then we have a typical sales pipeline. So what is a pipeline, first of all, for people maybe that are not like that familiar with working with pipelines? We really want to make sure that our processes, so we all have processes, they might be by accident or they might be planned, and like processes that you really build like hard working, because you know that is the best way how it works, that is the best way how you can close the deals. So a typical sales pipeline looks like that. For at the beginning of the funnel, you have the new leads, you have requests over marketing activities, over networking, whatever, what we talked before as well. And then you want to qualify them. You have the sales process. You have the offer, the negotiation, and you see like it's getting smaller through the funnel. And if you're organizing yourself with these pipelines, then you really have a structure. You always know what is happening, when and how. You have the transparency, not only for yourself, but for your whole team. And you can focus finally. So you're never losing track. You know what to do when, and what is the best timing for each action, for each lead and deal. And of course, afterwards, I'll make that here go. Afterwards, then the customer relationship starts. So wait a minute. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so qualify your leads. Why is that important? So we have talked a lot about qualifying leads, and yeah, we want to do that because we are investing a lot of times in leads that will never close. As I said before, so we have a lot of small businesses that are really trying to get these leads, and it's super important. But we have to know which leads are the ones that it will really convert and which ones are the ones that we are maybe losing our time with. So we don't want to invest a lot of time in leads that will never close. Then we have leads with potentials that are being forgotten or touched too late, as we said earlier. So there are potentials. Maybe it wasn't clear at the beginning. So we have to ask the right questions to find out if there is a high potential. And then we have to focus on that lead. We can do that in SamDock. I will show you later how to, so that these customers, these potentials are not forgotten and they are not touched too late. And then we have unqualified leads overcrowd our pipelines and destroy the structure. So we have a lot of pipelines that we see from customers that have like hundreds of leads in there, and it's like overcrowded. They lose focus. They don't know anymore where to focus and what to do first. And therefore, you need to clarify and validate main qualification criteria beforehand. Then we have different variants. So like the first step is the qualification of the leads. Then the second step is now the deal stages. So we have different variants here. So the first example is, for example, if you are selling products and services, you can have a pipeline for each of those both processes. Then we could have also per salesperson different pipelines, because maybe salesperson A is working that way and it's working best for them, but salesperson B wants to have another structure, another process, because he is better like calling twice, and the other wants to have a meeting with the customers from the beginning on. So it's very good to build multiple sales pipelines for you according to different criteria that you have to find out at the beginning. So that is the preparation that you need to do at start, and then you can really go into your sales work and into your sales daily basis. Different sales stages in different pipelines also help you to really know at which stage of the process is which customer now. So as we see it, for example, in example 3, we have customer type A and type 2, for example, tier 1 and tier 2, tier 3. And for tier 1, for example, you have more stages because you want to focus more on that. You want to, I don't know, the negotiation takes longer and you want to have 2 steps for that. So you have different stages in every pipeline. And then exact and structured mapping of your individual sales process helps you also to really have everything that you need at one side, and you know every time what is going on. Then the transparent status of all your leads and deals due to a structured allocation helps you in your whole team to every time know what's going on. And you have the clear focus on important deals, as we mentioned earlier as well. Yeah, that's the theory part. So that was everything that is to say about how we want to do it, like how it could be working for you guys perfectly. And of course, we now need to see that in action. So, Minang, should I dive into the software, or do you want to say a few words more?
Let's ask the users about this. Guys, if you are watching this webinar and if you understood all the part out there, let's use the tool in action. Type in action, ACTION, and let's see who are all excited over here, who are all wants to see this tool in action and how easy it is to do this. So, comments have been coming it. Let's see it. Awesome. Uh, we've been getting more comments as well, guys. Only one user, come on. All right, people are commenting that action emoji with that clapboard. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you guys are being active, as active people will be rewarded for sure, and I'm glad you're learning as well. So in the meantime, guys, I'm again repeating, any question you've got, you can ask us in the chat down below. We have a dedicated Q&A session in the end where we're gonna go through every single question of yours and we're gonna answer it. um I got a comment saying PitchGround is doing a great job by bringing on the creators of the software products. This gives us as business owners more clear picture and use case for these products. Sharneen, thank you so much for this comment. This means a lot. Before we people have said it, let's go action mode right now. But before we go action mode, let's take this one question from Sharneen. She says, so software had a webinar feature and a calendar feature?
We will come into that, like not the webinar feature, but the calendar feature we have in there, yes. And it will be available for the PitchGround users as well as an add-on, so be tuned, but I will show you also how it looks like.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's share the screen and get this begun. Perfect. We can see your screen.
Thank you very much, Minek. So here's the software. Here's where the magic happens. So you start your day in your home screen, of course. And when you're entering the home screen, we want you to have all the important information in one view. So what you will see here is like your request. These are the inbound requests that are coming in through Zapier, through all the marketing activities that you do, through contact forms on the website or on landing pages. And also, if you have a webinar tool and then you did webinars, these leads could also be somehow connected, maybe over Zapier as well, to SamDock. Then we have the pipeline breakdown, which gives you a little bit of an overview how many leads and deals you have right now open, and also with which value, so that you know, okay, this is the potential revenue that I could do. And then we have we don't have yet a detailed reporting, so that you like the key KPIs, you can look into that. We will do that next year. It's on our roadmap, and until then we have like a small overview about the closed deals per week, month, last month, and also per user, so that you always see who has how many closed deals and with which value. Then we are seeing the tasks here, which I will explain like later on at the end, because I think it's like a very good combination of everything. We have the funnel here where you also see these numbers again. And then as the question said from Janine, here is the calendar sync. So we have the calendar synchronization with Outlook, Gmail, whatever calendar you may using. You can synchronize your calendar here. This will be available soon as an add-on. And then you can add meetings out of SamDock directly. You can invite your customers or your leads or team colleagues, whatever, to your meetings, and you have like all the important meetings here at one view, so that when you start your day, you really know what is going on today. So now, if we dive into this lead management, we have talked a lot about it. So we have structured it here in three different menu points. So we really want you to have this easy going and like UI UX, and also easy to find things that you're searching for. So we have this request page. And I want to show you how this will look in a few days, because we have been working a lot on this page, and it will be changing, because right now here are all the incoming requests. But in a few, I have a screenshot here from our amazing Gina, who is doing the design. And so we will have our email inbox, email synchronization as well soon. In the next few days it should be released. So you have your private inbox then here in the request section. You have all the mails that are coming in. You can link them to the person, to the organization, or whoever this is important to link to. And then you have also shared inboxes. So if you're working in a team and you have sales at, info at, contact at, or whatever as a collaborating in the shared inbox, then you can also sync this with the SamDock, and then you will see who was working on which email, so that you always know, okay, this email is has already been answered by my colleague, so I can focus now on the new ones. This also helps you structure yourself, organize yourself in the team better. And then, of course, we have these incoming requests like the site forms, API connections to Zapier, as I told you before, and as you also see right now here. So let's do an example. We have a few requests here. So we have a John Doe, for example. We can directly delete them because this is like obvious spam. And so we don't bring spam into our database. And then we have here a few leads that we can have a look into. So the requirements that were filled out here by Dexter are, can you please send more information regarding your feature? So small businesses like get these emails a lot, and we may also at the beginning know what he really wants. So first of all, this is a very clear sign that he is not in the closing mood. As we said before in the facts, he just wants to have few more information first. So we will provide them that information, but maybe we can focus on other leads that have a higher potential from the beginning. So of course we will verify this, and then a contact gets created, the lead gets created, and we can work on that later on. But yeah, we will first send him the information and then focus on that in a later stage. What we have here is again like the Mary Bird request that we got. We can see here in the requirements that this Mary really told us a lot about herself. So we see that she really is interested. She really wants to have a solution. And of course, also we find out when. So they are expanding in Q4. So they want a solution this month. And that is a very good sign for us to see, okay, this is something where I really need to focus now on, because that is a very high potential lead. And we will verify, of course, her as well. And then the lead gets created, the person and the organization, because in her information, she has already filled out the information details. As Dexter didn't have this information in his contact form, he just wrote us his name and email address. The next step now is the leads. So now we are coming to this qualification of leads section. What we have done here is we have deficient I can't spell this, I can't say this word. So we have the prospecting on the left side, and we have the qualified leads on the right side. So now we want to get all of these over here and find out all the information that we need. So here are all our leads. We see Mary Bird here, we can open her, and then we have our qualification in criteria. This will also be customizable in the future. So yeah, stay tuned, because here you have now the timeline. Like we have this bend method that we are using here. We have the requirements, we have the timeline, authority, and budget. These are the most important things that you need to find out about your leads. But in future, this will be customizable. So if you think that, like, for example, the budget is not that important for me to know, or the authority, because I'm always anyways talking only to the key stakeholders, then maybe you want to also know how big the company is, or what services they are doing, or whatever. Then you could also put that in the future here in the qualification criteria. So in the note here in the requirements, we can always like add things if we found some things out in the future. This is our main note that we want to know about this lead. And then we also know when this customer wants to have a solution. So next month is we can like set up that here. We know that Mary is the decision maker because we were on the website and we saw that she is the CEO. And also this budget question, of course, maybe we have talked to her already, we have called her the first time, and then we can also fill that information out. And as you have seen, these informations now are all green, and that's why, let me change that into the next 2 weeks. So Mary was already qualified. What we can also do is, of course, via drag and drop, very easily qualify these leads manually. If we don't need all this information and we really think that now this is qualified, then we can do that as well. So for Dexter, for example, we can give him like a timeline for December. So maybe we talked to him and we found out that he wants to now have only information, and in December he wants to really, really focus on making a decision, for example, which software to use in our case here. So there are 3 outcomes now. You have called this lead, you have found out all the information that you need, you have qualified them, and now there are 3 outcomes. First one is this lead is on hold because they are searching for a solution later on. Then the software helps you already also keeping in mind an eye on these on hold things. What you would do now is create a task for yourself and saying you want to do the follow-up in beginning of December, because he wants to have a solution. Then we can also already link that to Dexter. As he has no organization, we can find that out. We can just create the new organization manually. More agency, that's it. And yes, we want to link both of them because they're belonging together. So that's it. We have created the task. We have the due date. We can also set a prioritization. It's a normal priority because it's really due in like two months. So yeah, now we can focus on Mary because she has the higher potential. So what do we do now? We find out the two other outcomes. Either the requirements or any other things don't fit. So then this lead is already lost and we don't need to to spend more time on them. So if we, for example, find out that the requirements of Niels here, for example, are very different to what we can offer, or they don't have a budget at all, then this would already be lost. And what we can do now is archive this lead so that we are not losing the data. We want to save the data, of course, because maybe in the future they are coming back. And if Niels was coming back in the future, then we could just reopen him because maybe in a few months the requirements have changed and they are now interested in our services. So then we can get them back and then, of course, again, qualify him and put him through our process. And then the last and the best outcome, of course, is with Mary now. They really are interested. All the requirements are fitting and there is a high potential. So what do we do now? We take Mary and we convert her into a deal because this is where sales is now really happening. This was the preparation and now the sales process starts. So as I like to say, if you want to color your walls, you really need to do the preparation first. Okay, you need to be prepared for what's coming, and then you can start coloring the wall. And so that's what you are doing here as well. So don't start to sell at this point. Just start to qualify, to find out all the information, ask questions, call the customer or the lead. And if you have found out all the information, then your sales process can start. And that's what we are doing now. We convert her into our sales pipeline, just via drag and drop as usual. And then we will start here in deals. So we have the qualified lead, and now, as we said before, these pipelines really help you structure yourself. So I have a few examples here. As we said earlier as well in the presentation, we have the sales and, for example, the existing customers, and then you have all these stages regarding on how your process looks like. So really focus on that you have a process anyways. Like if you didn't work on the process, you have some, like maybe you are first calling them and then you want to send the proposal and then the next call. So just write that down as detailed as possible. If you have another step in between, just add it here so that you really at all the time know what is going on with which customer and which stage this one is in. Then here is the example of A customers and B customers, which would be like tier 1, tier 2, or whatever. Here you have to talk to the CEO. You want to send a chocolate for the tier 1s. And yeah, this is how you can structure that as well. Also, I like to have a pipeline for on-hold deals because you're not having only on hold here in the lead section. There's also like sometimes you were in the sales process and then like maybe during the proposal something changed at the company at Early Bird and they say, oh, sorry, we have to do that project in like 2 months. And then I can just drag and drop Early Bird here and on hold and say that the project was postponed so that I also on this view always know what is going on. So let's go back with early bird here in the sales pipeline. What we can do here in the deals is adding position. So we can just write here, and we will get a product catalog in the future as well, so that you can like write in all your products or services that you're offering, and then just like add them to each deal and what services they are interested in. So we know here that 5 salespeople are looking for a software. Okay, so we can write that down, 5-person software, for example. Then we can add the quantity. Oh, pieces and like the value of each of those. And then, for example, you have also the consultancy, which will be 5 hours for them. And then you can also add that value here. You can add the text. So you have now the value of this deal. You know that you can make $1,400 with this deal. Here you can give them a name, software for 5 people. And that's it. You have all important information on that deal in one side. You have the qualification criteria, you have the positions, and which lead and deal, which person in contact is linked to that. So now you can always, again, with drag and drop, put her into the next pipelines. We have also where we will get even more integrations, which will be very, very interesting, because, for example, if you have an accounting tool to send your proposals and to send your bills and your invoices, then you could in future connect that to SamDock, and you can say that if this customer comes over here in the proposal, an automation happens, that then the proposal is being worked on in the other software. So, for example, right now we have a German software, LexOffice is the name. This is for creating proposals and sending invoices, and we have this automation already set up. So what we will do even more automations in the future, so that you don't have to do all of these steps manually anymore. Cool. So now we have this deal management. We have we know which customer is at which point, but what we are missing here now is all the information regarding that customer. So there was a lot of happening between early bird and us, between Mary, or if we take another contact. So that's where now the contact management comes in. So this was all regarding lead and deal management, and how you can structure yourself, how you can focus. But now we also have all the personal information of that organization or contact. So we will go into the contact section. I will quickly show you only this overview, and then we will dive into a contact view themselves. So we have all contacts here in one list. We can create views, as you can see here. For example, I have my newsletter list, and there are all the people that have signed up for the newsletter. Then I have tier 1 customers, for example, and you can filter for all the information that you have set up. We have custom fields so that you can set up all the information you need. I can show you a few examples that I have set up here. For example, you have a tag that you want to add to each contact, a note, the newsletter, is this contact getting the newsletter, yes or no? Then we have the organization fields as well. For example, what type of a contact is that? Is it a customer, investor, agency, whatever? The size of the company. So how many people are working there? How big is the company? The potential revenue, which would now here be in, I can change that anymore. It would not be euros, but you can also set up, of course, dollars or whatever. Currency where you are working with. And then you have the contact owner, so you can set up, for example, which of your team members are working here on that customer, or are main responsible for that, or maybe 2 of them are working on that, so that you can like add these informations to all your customers. And then you can filter after these. I will show you again on one example. For example, the owner has the value Claudia. So now all the customers that I have been working on are shown here. I can add this organization. I can add this to my view, and then I have a very beautiful Excel spreadsheet but in a modern design. You can always also export the views. So for example, if you have a newsletter tool, you can just export this list and then you can send your newsletter out with that tool. And you can create new views, of course, and also share them with your team. So if you have a main view, for example, that you're working on with your team, you can just change the permissions here as you go. Cool, so we have seen the main contact page. Here are all our contacts. And now we want to look into one specific contact. So here with the Claudia Paris, we want to see what has happened here. Who is that person? What is the deal or the lead link to it? What is the potential and whatever. So when we are opening one contact, then on the left side, we will find all the contact information and also, of course, all the custom fields. In the middle, we have the activity stream now, and on the right side, everything that is important for the future. So all the leads and deals that are open. And we can, of course, always open them in a side sheet so that we don't have to change the views all the time, and we can open the task as well so that we always have an overview. Here again, the deal is shown with the positions and with the qualification criteria of the leads. So as we said earlier, you really have all the necessary information at one view. Here is a small sign only from the calendar. So if you're not seeing that, don't be confused. This is the calendar functionality. So all the appointments that I have with this email, with this customer, they are shown here, and I can manage new meetings, set up new meetings, and send the invitations directly out of SamDock. If we are now having a look into our activity stream, we will see really everything and what has happened between this customer and us. And it is shown chronologically, of course, and on the left side, you will see everything that has happened from the customer. On the right side, everything that has happened from us. This is like in WhatsApp, like in every chat that we know how it works. Like on the right side, we will find everything that has come from our side. If you are logging meetings, then they will be shown, of course, in the middle. So you really have like all the important information also on the colors. You can see, okay, this is a missed call. This is a successful call. It's green and red. And if we are now adding more, like we can say, Claudia tried to call us and left us a voice message. We can link this to a deal. So if you have done it a few times, like linking these leads and deals, that is very important for your own organization. And if you have done it a few times, then it will get an automation. So it's automatically in your hand, and you will always do that. Then after that, for example, we arranged a meeting, and then in the meeting, we discussed like this and this and this, and then you can add them, you can attach files to that, so you always know like what have we been talking about. You can upload these. Oh, I forgot a title. For example, negotiation. Yeah, and you can log that into the history. So this helps you really see it one view. When you want now to call the customer or you want to prepare something, then just scroll down a little bit and have a look into what happened with the customer. You can also filter. So you can just say, I want to see all the mails now. And after our email synchronization is coming now, we already have the email logging via BCC. But yeah, as our synchronization will come soon, then you will have all mails of that customer in one view here. And we have a files section as well, where you can upload, for example, contracts, invoices, proposals, or whatever, so that you have them all at one side as well. If we now have a look, I have the filters here. If we now have a look into the organization and where's the difference, then we will see that the organization, and this is now especially for B2B sales. So most of our customers or our software is really built for B2B, because we have like many information now on that organization view. We have all the contacts necessary for this we have all the contacts that are working in that company shown here. And normally the positions are shown here as well. That's why I was confused, but don't let yourself confuse for me. Then here you have all the open potential. So you will also have all the closed deals. If we are closing that deal now and we are setting that on 1, then these will be shown here as well. Yeah, but we can get them back here on proposal set. Then we have again activity stream. So all the activities that were set up in the contacts, they will be shown here as well. We have again the file section. Here now also you see the presentation, which I just uploaded in that meeting here. That is now fully uploaded. And here in the overview, you can always have a look into all the deals and leads that are open. And we say that one contact can have more and multiple leads or deals, because maybe this Butterfly Consulting, they want to have our software, but as well they want to have our consultancy, or they want to have a longer project with us. So I can just create multiple leads and deals to really see all the processes of each deal, of each potential, here for that customer. Yeah, that's mostly it. If we dive in now into the setting sections, you will see our features here. Of course, there will be a lot more in the future. We are working a lot on everything else. The integrations here, you see Zapier. This is LexOffice that I talked to you about. And then I really want to show you what is coming soon. We will come to your questions soon. I just want to have also directly a look into our roadmap. Minang, yeah, do you want to say something as well?
Oh, yeah, I love the simplicity of the tool, how intuitive it is, how easy it is to drag and drop and manage our sales pipeline. And Steve here has a lot of questions. No problems, Steve. Bring it on. We're going to answer every single question that you've got and then end the webinar. So let's go complete the session, and then we will come to the questions.
Yes, thank you very, very much. So having a look into our roadmap, here is where you are asked as well now. So we really depend on a lot of feedback. So we are a startup, we are developing every feature with a lot of thoughts, with a lot of like feedback from you guys. So we really ask you here to be active. As you can see here, 29 people asked for the email inbox synchronization, which is why now we are developing it. Also, our mobile app will come soon. I can give you a small insight into that as well. So you can call customers very easily from your phone directly in the app. You can log activities, you can take pictures. Sorry, this is in German now. I just have the screenshot in German, but you will see how it looks soon, because we are in the end steps of the development. Here is everything that is coming soon. Then we have planned the global search, which is a very important basic feature, and a calendar booking system. So this will also be maybe available via as an add-on for you to buy. So for example, if you're using Calendly, you can soon then use our calendar booking system to let your customers book an appointment in your calendar. Then under consideration, we have a lot of there are a lot of more ideas that we have. These are the ones that we are thinking about to develop in the nearest future. So there will be at some point roles and permissions. We want to focus on that in Q1. The product catalog that I told you about for the deals positions. We have the custom qualification criteria so that you can customize all these information that you need for even better structure to be even faster, and also some automatically fill in information, for example, from the domain of your customer, so that we can fill out the address details, we can fill out the logo. And please use this submit idea section, because we really want to hear all of your ideas. We could have taken like our 100 ideas from our backlog here as well, but we are doing it time to time, because of course we are working with an aligned development and design, so we want to do things like one after the other, and so that you can see that we are really like doing things, we are really making things happening. Here on the lounge section, you can also see what we have already done, which is an open beta, so the calendar appointments or the Zapier integration, for example. We are working on that every week because we want to make it better. We want to make it more automatically. We want to make it for your, like, perfectly aligned to your needs. So that's why this is on current beta still, and we are working on that month to month. That's it. For example, if you have any questions left, also you can use our help desk here. In the help desk we have a few articles. I have also recorded some tutorials, but there will be even more in the future. This knowledge base will be updated also as we go, and also as more features as we are getting. And here in our chat you can contact us anytime, and you can ask us your questions, and we will get back to you as soon as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. And let's get on to the questions because users have a ton of questions coming in here. So let's answer this first question. Will you say this live? Of course, the live is going to be exactly where you commented. It's going to be there. You don't have to worry. It's going to be there on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere else. Nice. Shared inbox is very important. Thanks. Glad you like it. Next up, will incoming emails be associated with respective deals?
So we will. I can't find that question here on the. Now I have it.
Yeah.
Now I can read it again.
Yeah.
Yes. So incoming emails will be linked to leads and deals as well. We don't have a deal history yet. So the activity stream right now is only for the persons and organizations, because we were thinking at the beginning, and that's where we try to rethink things, that you are not in touch, you are not in contact with a deal or with a lead. This deal or lead just represents the customer or the person or the organization. So that's why now the activity stream is always shown only in the contact and in the organization. But soon we also will have a deal history. And of course, all the emails will be linked to the person, to the organization, and to the lead and deal, and also to a task that you want to create out of the email.
Steve, I hope that answers your question. Moving on to the next question. Will we be able to send outgoing emails to leads or contacts?
Yes. So I can, if you want, I can have again a look into it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Share the screen again. So this is where it will be happening now, the full email sync. So you can send emails, of course. Also, like if you have incoming emails, you can just reply here directly out of SamDock. And in the future, then, like, this is the first step. We are now building the base for all these email features. We will have templates, so that you also know and that you are prepared. The signature at the beginning will not be there yet. We are working on that. This is like really the base that we are now building. And then month to month, we will develop more. We will have the signature, we will have templates. And then also, if you are in the contact and you want to write to Sirius Black, then you can just write an email, an outgoing email directly out of SamDock.
Absolutely. Moving on to the next question. We can we add our logo on the
So,
header? I don't really care about white label, but at least adding our logo would be cool.
actually, that's a very good question. I know that you can add your logo here. So you can add your company information, your logo, and I will write down that idea and that feedback, because that is very, very interesting. And so that, like, here it will be shown, I guess, but like not anywhere
Yeah,
else.
I think Steve
So
means to
here
add
will
it
be,
there. That's a cool suggestion.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, moving on to the next question, what current integrations you all have? I believe it's Zapier.
Yes. So right now it's just Zapier and LexOffice. We are working on more in the future. We want to focus first on the German market, because we are a German-based company, and that's like very important for our local customers as well. So in the beginning of next year, we will also have an email marketing tool, which is from Germany. It's called Clever Reach. and we will have a few more integrations from Germany. And then also next year there will come a lot of more integrations that are international. But yeah, we decided on Zapier first because we know that many people are using that to build their workflows, their automated workflows, and that's why we built that at first. And then next year we will focus on even more integrations. If you have any wishes, please let us know. That's why we have this roadmap. So please submit the idea here, and that we can focus on the integrations that you really want to have.
Can you share the roadmap link over here in the private chat so that I can just share it over there?
Yes, of course. I would love to. Then I just share this here. You
Perfect,
will
perfect.
always find, if you are in the product, you will find the roadmap always here on the help and then roadmap.
Awesome offer. So the roadmap link, I've pasted it in the chat, guys. You can go through it, request all the features, because the SamDock team is more than happy to hear all the feedback that you're giving, looking at all the features and work them. So moving on to the next question from Munir. He says, do you have chat module in the system? Can I talk with my colleagues?
Actually, this is an idea that I have requested a few times. We really
Interesting,
have so
yeah.
many customers that were asking for it. So thank you, Munir, for this very, very nice idea. My idea was that, for example, we have like a note option like everywhere, like at the deals, for example, you can have a note that is only for your colleagues, and then you can link your colleagues. So you can say, okay, this because you are now of course able to link the deals and the leads to your colleagues, but you're not possible, like it's not possible yet to have like an internal conversation in those deeds and leads. So it's a very, very nice idea. I would be super happy if you could write that down in our roadmap here as a submit idea, because then I'm not alone anymore, and we finally have someone who's wishing this feature as well.
It's a really cool feature to have. I believe Dennis and
Yes.
Alexander are also watching this live. So yeah, please take note, guys. Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next question from Munir himself. Again, one more question. Can you show how to customize the PDF template?
So the PDF template. We don't have a PDF template here in the system. It's just that you can upload them. So you can upload each file, like you can upload pictures, you can upload spreadsheets, you can upload PDFs. But yeah, we don't have like a customizable PDF template now for example, proposals or anything like that. This is where we will integrate into softwares that can do. Did I
Perfect. Perfect.
understand the question correct? I think.
Yes, yes, yes. I hope that answers your question, Munir. Please come back and ask your questions if you have any more doubts. Steve, Munir, Sharneen, you guys have been active. You guys have been asking questions. Amazing. Any more questions, guys? Bring it on. We are happy to answer every single question that you have. And in the meantime, I'm going to quickly share my screen over here so that we can check the lifetime deal offering of SamDock. Guys, the plans start at just $49 lifetime. The link to the SamDock lifetime deal has been shared in the chat down below. You can also find it above or below the video, wherever you depends where you're watching it on, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. And here are our offerings. We have many plans over here: Plan B, Plan C, and Plan D is just 4 plans. And we have the offerings that's mentioned here: 10 users, 15 users, etc. It just goes on. But if you're just starting out, you don't know what's a CRM, it's like, okay, I need to just get the feel of it. I need to get my hands on a CRM and actually integrate it, use it on my business. You're probably good with the base plan since you're just starting out. But if you're a business that has a lot of customers to handle, that has a lot of people out there who and you're starting to grow and build your sales team, I recommend the Plan D, which is the highest top tier plan that we are having. And yes, guys, SamDock is 100% GDPR compliant. You don't have to worry about that. Other day, somebody was asking us, Okay, I was looking for a European based tool because they're 100% usually GDPR compliant and etc. Yes, I would like to repeat it once again. GDPR compliance is important, and yes, SamDock is completely 100% GDPR compliant as well. So
If I
this
may
is,
add, if I
yeah.
may add just one more thing, because GDPR is very important to us. We are based in Germany. This is the one thing that every German customer is asking for. So all our databases are here local in Frankfurt. We have the backup servers also located in Europe. So really, it's 100% data safe and GDPR compliant.
Absolutely, guys. You don't have to worry about any of that. And if you've joined in late, if you've missed the webinar, you can all watch the replay of this, or you can watch the use case that we have made for a SamDock. It's a simple walkthrough, and you're going to see what it does. And if we have forgotten to answer any of your questions here, please feel free to ask us here in the discussions tab by clicking on asking a question. Just log in and you're good to go by asking a question. We are ready to answer every single question that you have. So this is the lifetime deal, guys. It's super simple tool as you just saw it in the live session. I'm just going to close my screen sharing and talk to you guys. And super simple, super easy to use. It can be your very first CRM to get started with. As you saw, it's so easy, so intuitive, so welcoming UI of SamDock that can manage your sales pipeline. We have one more question coming in. Can incoming leads be added via web form?
Yes, I have already prepared the screen. Yeah, here we are. Thank you very much for that question. Very important. Yes, this is possible. And we have here on the features, you will find in the setting section the request sources. Here you have the possibility to add new sources. So either you can just add an API source or a simple form. This simple form gives you the opportunity to create a new web form directly out of SamDock. Here, you need to have a little bit of a knowledge, for example, with CSS classes to design this contact form, because this is only designable via CSS classes. We will have another solution in the future, but now we are focusing on a lot of more basic features that are more important to us. And yeah, in the future, this will be easier as well. If you have an existing web form already set up on your website, then just connect it to the API source here. Here is the API endpoint that you can just add to your web form, and then all the requests that are coming into your web form will directly be automatically set up here in SamDock as a request.
Awesome, awesome. So, Steve, it's clear, yes, it can be added. I hope that answers your question. So, I think coming back to our webinar, let me see any more comments that have been coming in that have missed out on, etc. Because you guys are truly active, asking a ton of questions. Yeah, I'm totally loving this. And guys, any more questions, please bring it on. We are happy to answer all your questions out here regarding sales, regarding CRM, regarding SamDock. We have all the questions out here. So let me see more questions that are coming in. And since I said that, I'm going to be rewarding the most active person out here who is been engaging with us and etc. The most active person is clearly Steve, who's been engaging with us, who's asking a ton of questions. He's like, yes, is this feature available? When is the mobile app coming? When can I do this, etc. So, Steve, you win a PitchGround T-shirt. Congratulations, Steve. Please message me after this webinar. I'll get your address and ship you the PitchGround T-shirt ASAP. Absolutely, Steve. So thank you so much for being active. You win the PitchGround T-shirt. We have more questions coming in. Will you have a list of upgrades we need to pay extra for? That's a really good question from a lifetime deal point of view.
Yes, so we will prepare a list. Thank you very much for that idea. I will take that into our next meetings for PitchGround, and then we will prepare something so that you also know which add-ons we will have. As this is something currently in designing and developing, it can take a little bit more time, but then we will have the full list of everything that you can pay extra for. For example, the calendar sync, the email sync, or whatever may come as well.
Steve, I hope that answers your question. And Steve out there is sending GIF. I cannot. Yeah, I can see that party celebration GIF. Awesome, Steve. Don't forget to message me for that to claim your T-shirt. And s- other than that, any more questions? I believe we are done with all the questions. We are clocking in an exact 1 hour 9 minutes. Uh, I think we've been close to 1 hour, so it's fine. We haven't gone abort. We haven't gone made you late, made you wait for so long, etc. We're just on time that we promised 1 hour, and we hope you got a ton of value with this webinar. Don't forget to grab the lifetime deal for SamDock. The link is above or below this video, depends where you're watching it from. And thank you so much, Clarissa, for taking this webinar, showing us the demo of the tool and explaining CRM in a really, really simple manner.
Thank you as well. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for all your amazing questions. We are very much looking forward to working with each and every one of you guys and for your feedback. And yeah, stay healthy and happy. And thank you again.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much all for joining in. You guys are amazing.
Today we're making customer relationships easier. What's going on, guys? This is Val from PitchGround. Managing customer relationships is no big deal. You can run it all on paper, use your notebook or sticky notes, or you can go even further and keep it all in a spreadsheet. If you're still living in the previous century and you have just one single customer. Now, if you want to run your sales like a grown-up, you definitely need a CRM. And there's a lot of them on the market, but most of them are so complex that you would need a training course. Not to mention that they have tons of modules and features you'll never use, but you still pay for them, and it's pricey for the record. You need a tool that you and your team will get familiar with from the get-go. No fluff, no bulky modules and integrations you won't ever use. That's why PitchGround brings you a lifetime deal for SamDock, radically simplified and straightforward CRM. SamDock was designed to help you sell more effectively and have a better time while you're doing it. You don't need hundreds of distracting bells and whistles, dozens of screens and menus, or complicated workflows. That's why the SamDock team left them all out and focused on making sure the features you actually use were as simple and powerful as possible. You keep it all in one place, but still, you keep it simple, nice and clean. Now what you want to do is go to pitchground.com and get yourself a lifetime deal for SamDock. And don't miss the use case video where Mark will show you how to use this awesome business tool. That's pretty much it, guys. Love you all, keep safe, and I see you guys in the next video.